So yesterday, I think we have discussed about AMI images and snapshots and about multi-factor authentication. And today we start with how to work with Elastic IP and how to assign multiple public IP for single Amazon EC2 instance and how to configure Amazon SSL agent.
Paul,
Yes.
I need, yeah, before going into class, right? Could you guide us how to use lab? Because as such, we couldn't access lab.
Okay. Actually, for labs, quick labs. Actually, I think. If you there is a problem with the quick labs, we have reported the issue to quick labs. So but I show you how to access the labs. Okay, so I'm going to log on to my quick labs. So that is something quick labs home, and it says
Interface is like normal AWS login, I mean console.
yes. See, obviously you will be getting the same console in quick labs as you are getting in AWS uh, login.
Okay.
I'm going to show you. So click sign in. And this Quick Labs is a combined lab of GCP and AWS. So GCP is a Google Cloud.
Okay.
So here I'm getting, I'm just logging into the console of Quick Labs.
Paul, and also, is only one person able to access at a time, Paul, or we all 8 person can
No, one
able
lab.
to practice the lab?
One lab can be accessed by one person at a time.
So how we can schedule each other among us?
Okay, that I'll tell you. So here we got a catalog, right? So if you are going on this one, AWS SysOps Administrator Associate or Programming on AWS. So so maybe you're going on this level of accessing. You just go to My Catalog, and here you find it Quistis and Labs. Click on this Labs, and here you will be finding Amazon Labs. Click Amazon Web Services. Because if you give all content, it may contain GCP, Google Cloud Platform, as well as AWS. So here you're looking for which one? You're looking for Solution Associate. Okay. Otherwise, you're looking for other labs that we have. Okay. So click on this Associate, and here you're getting the labs. So select any of the lab, for example. And simultaneously you will be getting the documentation to access this. Maybe you're getting this error, right? This error, right? This is the error you are getting.
No, it is asking some training code or something.
Training code? No. It will not ask. Let I show you again. Let I go to this level, computer networking. So here, introduction to Amazon EC2. And I'm going to click Start Lab. So here you have to give this use subscription.
Yeah. This is the one.
So click on that.
Oh, okay.
So after you click on the subscription, it will accept your request, and here the lab started, and you have to finish this lab in 39 minutes and 50 seconds. So you can see that they already given a documentation reference, so you can refer this documentation and you can complete this lab. But apart from this documentation, if you're going to manage, you're going to access other consoles, that will be restricted by Identity Access Management. So go to click Open Console. You can see here now it's working. You can see I can able to get into my console, and it's exactly looks same as the paid account. So now you can see
Okay.
no differences. So you can see you'll be getting all services intact as you looking here. You can see this is the paid account I have. So the same thing, same console, but this is IAM user. This is federated login. So that is a restricted access account, but this is a full access account. So this is absolutely same. But the thing is, if you go to some other location, suppose you're going to access, apart from EC2, you went to RDS or VPC. Suppose I'm going to VPC, and AWS will not allow you to access to manage this console because based on the documentation. So here I have two VPCs running. So if you are going to delete the VPC, and let's see what the thing is here. So data, you can see you are not authorized to perform this operation. So because the lab access will not be given on this level, so you have to go back to your EC2 level and then you have to access. So first of all, go and read the documentation, like see, monitor your instance and everything. They will be explaining you that how to monitor the instance and how to get connected and everything. They will be giving you a particular bunch of how to change instance type that we have received, and how to modify volumes, and this termination protection, everything they will be giving you. And then you have additional resources also. If you don't want this lab, you can able to click on this end lab, and you can come out of that. So you see that it will automatically close. So like this, you can practice.
How many times we can? Now, how many times we can go into this labs? Is there any limitation?
No, actually, there is no limitation for this lab. See, actually, we are sharing this Quick Labs account with various students. So maybe they are already accessing the same console as you are accessing. So maybe if you simultaneously if you access two labs same time in different location, so that lab will be that if you access that lab, and it will say that quota exceeded. That is the usage of quota exceeded. Those kinds of things will become. But if they close the lab, and it will, and the control will return to you, and you can able to access the lab. So this does not mean that you cannot work on this lab. You can work it out, but this method you follow. Go to computer networking, and you can see, click on this Amazon EC2, and then go to the documentation, and you can able to finish the lab. So the same as that, we have other labs also available. So go to catalog, and here we got the first labs. We got a lot of labs here. Okay, click on this Amazon Labs. So here, you suppose you're looking for storage and CDN. Okay, so or you're looking for security or AWS. Click on that, and you will be getting all the IAM role and basic auditing and monitoring security groups, Amazon CloudWatch. So all these labs you will be getting in this console. So, but other labs are under the error process. So we have sent a message. We have reported the error notification, and it will be getting rectified. So this is the status right now. So you can just go through these labs, and if just find comfortable. And that error that you have got in AWS Certified Solution Architecture here in associate level, so that will be solved in 24 hours. So after that, you are able to access the labs. Okay, so let me back to our configuration. So as I'm talking about today, I'm going to explain you about Elastic IP.
I have one doubt. Actually, see, in our group, 8 persons are there, right?
Yes.
So
Yes.
if 8% want to access the lab at same time, is it possible or it's not possible?
See, 8% wants to access the same lab at same time. It is possible, but we have to increase the quota. And for that, we have already sent a mail to Quick Labs to increase the quota for solution architecture labs. And they have sent the reply also. So I will send you those replies in our group. After I finish this session, I will send you those requests. So what they have responded as. So I will send you that also, and you can go through. But it is, see, same lab can access by simultaneously can access by multiple users. That's not a problem. But the lab quota, we have a quota limit for that lab. If it's going to exceed it, then you cannot able to proceed with that lab until others closed. So, but when other guys going to close, we don't know. So that is a problem. So that's why we have already sent a query mail to Quick Labs to extend the quota for those labs, and they sent us the reply mail that they are going to extend us. So that will take effect within 1 day. That is 24 hours. So let's see.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, Paul. Thanks.
So here discussing about elastic IP. This is important. You know, elastic IP is a static permanent IP for Amazon EC2 machines. And you know, having a non-elastic IP, it gives you a lot of problems. It gives you, suppose you are running a web server, database server, or application server. So via the public IP, I'm going to reach the server. So if my public IP keep on change, if my public IP keep on changes time by time, then how come I reach my server? So that is very difficult for me to reach my server across that particular public IP. So that is why AWS have given another option to have an elastic IP. I'm going to show you demonstration how to work with elastic IP and how to assign elastic IP for Amazon EC2 instances. That may be Linux or maybe the Windows. So here I'm going to, right now I am in, and I'm going to explain different scenario of the different advantages of having elastic IP. So right now I am in Mumbai region, so which got two availability zone. Okay, so here I'm going to launch instance. So let I launch my AMI Linux first, and let I launch two machines. Let I launch two machines, and okay, let I launch three machines. Three machines and add storage, and here I'm going to give the name AMI Linux and security group. So I'm going to attach existing security group with Linux and review and launch it. So this is my PIM file, which is already downloaded in my physical machine. So I got three Linux machine here, and now the concept is all these three Linux machine has got a general public IP that is called a dynamic public IP. That dynamic public IP will be changed. So that is a see, if you are going to run imported servers here, suppose I'm going to configure Apache web server, and I'm going to access that Apache web server via my public IP. Right. So consume, this is my web server 1, web server 2, and web server 3. Right. So I'm going to have this one name. So this is my web server 1, and this gonna be my that is maybe any server I can say, maybe database server, anything. So this is web server 2, and this is web server 3. Now all these servers has got a public IP via my default VPC, and public IP not in my control. It is in AWS control. And AWS got getting this public IP from IAN, Internet Assigned Numbers Authority, who is responsible for global IP address allocations. And you can see this public IP is a general public IP, and this public IP will keep on change when I am just stopping and starting the instance. Okay. To show the problems of having dynamic IP, dynamic public IP. So first of all, I should launch the instance and let me configure Apache Web Server. So this is Linux.
Paul,
Yes.
just a quick question. See, if I stop and activate, is that the public IP will get changed?
Yes, it will
Default public
change.
IP?
Yes, it
Okay.
will change. That's why I'm going to show you here. So right now, okay, this is my, see, until you, if you're not going to stop, you're not going to start, the public IP will not change. That is okay. If you're going to stop and start, the public IP will get changed. And when public IP gets changed, then I have to inform everyone that. So right now I'm going to configure, for example, Apache Web Server, and you know Apache is a local server. So I'm going to have going to restart the service HTTPD and start. It started, and now what I'm going to do, let's see that if I have properly configured my web server, okay, then I should get the default page. Here we go, I got the default page. So this means I have properly configured the Apache web server. So now I'm going to change the site name. I'm going to modify the site by my own. So HTML, and then I'm going to give index.html. So here I'm going to have, this is AMI Linux. So how I am web server and 3. So I'm going to save it. So I'm going to restart the service because I have done changes. So now go to yours and you can see the test page. Click save. You can see this is converted to my own page. So any HTML tag I can add it. So this is how you can see. Now I'm accessing via this public IP, right? So suddenly, millions of users they got connected with this particular web server, and suddenly I can't able to reach. Can see maybe the recommendation came to me. I should do the maintenance of this machine, and I have to stop the machine. Okay, now check the public IP is this. Why this public IP I can reach the server. So I'm going to stop this machine. So now you can see here the public IP that what we got here, it's gonna be removed because you have stopping this, you have stopped the machine. And after that, when you again you start the machine, there is a AWS will release another general public IP for this machine. That is not the same. That is not on same IP as he got previously. And see now it's stopping. And they stop like this. They start starting, stopping. This is a big problem of controlling the public IP. So that is why to solve this problem, we got another option to have the elastic IP, and that elastic IP will never remove from the instance until we terminate an instance. Here we go. You can see it's got removed, and you can see no public IP. So obviously, I cannot able to reach the site. So you can see this keep on searching the site, and at last he will give you the error that unable to reach site. Okay, so now but one thing you have to understand that when you go to your security groups, you have to enable HTTP port number 80 to access the site. Even if you have proper public IP and you have not enabled this traffic, HTTP traffic, port number 80 on your security groups, I'm sorry to say, then also you can't able to reach the site. You can see the site can't reached, and now the public IP is something went off. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to start it again, and I'm going to have, you can see another new public IP will be given to this machine. Like this story goes on. Even in your private data center, when you have internet connectivity with you, and you are going to be having a dynamic IP, dynamic public IP, because that is something is keep on changing. You can see now public IP change. Previously it was 13.127.206.91, and now 13.127.177.68. You can see the public IP changed. So this is the major problem when we have the general public IP, dynamic public IP. To have permanent, static IP, public IP, so we should go for as elastic IP. But be careful when you assign elastic IP to the interface, because elastic IP is not free, you have to pay. And this general public IP is also not free, you have to pay. So this means that public IP is not at all free, we have to pay. But the advantages of having elastic based public IPs is that you can attach and deattach with any other instance. You can attach and deattach with any other instance. You can have reusability of this public IP, and Amazon will provide elastic IP when you are asking from him, and then you have to associate this elastic IP with the interface, with the instance, and then if you don't want, you have to disassociate, and then we have to release the elastic IP. Now I'm going to show you how to configure elastic IP. So here you can see we got elastic IP, and just remember, before you ask elastic IP from AWS, just remember elastic IP per region you can have only 5. So per region elastic IP will be released up to 5. So AWS will not allow to have elastic IP more than 5. Here we go. You can see I'm just asking IP. You can see I got a public IP. This is elastic IP 1. For, as I told, per region only 5. 1, 2, you can see 3, and then you are allocating 4th one, and then you are allocating 5th. For now it's okay. Now you're going to allocate error. You can see you got error because only 5 is allowed. So if you want to have more elastic IP, you have to contact AWS customer care, and they will help you to get you more elastic IP. So that's the limitation we have. So this is the limit of elastic IP. You can see all these elastic IPs are charged now. Even you attach with the instance, and if you don't attach with the instance, they are undercharged. So even if you are using with the instance, even if you don't use, you have asked the IP or not, you asked, so they are going to be charged. So be careful on elastic IP, and elastic IP is charged more. But we have, if you don't want elastic IP, try to disassociate and try to release it. Right now, okay, let I have 3 elastic IPs, and I'm going to release another 2. And here we go, and I'm going to charge for these 3 elastic IP. Now, how to associate this elastic IP with my instances? Now that's the question. Just remember that the another question is, since I got another public IP from the general pool of AWS, and keeping one public IP, how to attach elastic IP, that's also another public IP. The difference is this is dynamic and that is static. Now how come it works? The simple thing is, you know, many organizations what they do, they will have a one elastic IP for machines, for EC2 machines, and one IP they will kept as a dynamically. So one IP is a dynamic public IP, and one IP is a static public IP. So even dynamic public IP keep on change, but you can access the particular server via static public IP. So that's the thing they have. So right now I want to show you how to attach. So you know, see, no need to worry about if you have already the public IP with you, and no need to worry about that, because if you already have the general public IP with you, if even though I'm attaching the elastic IP to this machine, then AWS will replace the dynamic IP, and he will allow the elastic IP to be the static permanent IP for that machine. So let us show you here how to attach it. Go to elastic IP, select the IP, and now click on that, and we have option of associate address. And then there is a 2 options resource type. We got instance and network interface. This means that if instance has got one elastic network interface, that is called ENI, then we can attach the elastic IP with the name of the instance. But if we have 2 elastic network interfaces on that particular machine, you cannot attach with the name of the instance. You have to attach with the name of the network interface. So that is the difference between these 2 attachments. So right now I'm going to attach with the name of the instance because I got only one elastic network interface. So I'm going to have this one, and you can see select the private IP and reassociate it. Here we go. You can see it's just attached with the instance. Now go to instance and we find it here. We got elastic IP. Right? And the beauty of elastic IP, as I already told you, even though if you stop the machine, it will not get removed from the machine. It will always stick with this machine. but until you terminate. But if you terminate the machine, everything goes off, including elastic IP. And that is the thing we have. And now you can see elastic IP will remain forever.
If I Paul,
Yes.
if I terminate, it will get disassociated, right? It will
Yes.
not remove.
Yes. Yes. No. Yes. If
Okay.
I terminate means it will remove from the instance, but it will not dissociate from the instance. That I have to do by myself.
Oh, okay. Still, that is tagging to some instance.
Before you terminate an instance, please disassociate and terminate the instance. Otherwise, Elastic IP still thinks that that instance is running, and AWS will put charge. So now you can see the IP is remain forever, even though I have stopped the machine. So this is how the Elastic IP is really helpful for you when you have important configurations in the server. And now you can see right now, if I don't want, suppose I can see stopped, and if I go to terminate, see terminate means everything goes off because that instance is no more active. So that's what. So let me start it again. And now you can see it's working for me. So this is also applied for other two machines. Okay, so now the question is, suppose I don't want Elastic IP, I want general public IP. Again, back. What to do? Very simple. Go to Elastic IP and then just give disassociate address, and you can see disassociated from the instance. Now you can see AWS should provide a general public IP again back to that machine. So this is how the concepts of having Elastic IP. Then one more question. This machine is already launched with my default VPC, and while launching, they have launched with auto-generated, auto-assigned public IP. That's why even if I remove Elastic IP, AWS will forward them a general public IP. But what happened to this? What happened when you are launching in this fashion? When you're going to disable auto-assigned public IP, and then you have launched the machine. So this is going to be the private instance, right? Private instance. So you can see select existing group and click Linux and launch. So this machine does not have a public IP. So that machine is considered as a private, right? And because since it does not have a public IP, see, do you have public IP? No. If you don't have public IP, you cannot call this machine out of AWS. So that is 100% true. Now, how to call this machine out of AWS? I don't have any public IP, no general public IP. So in this situation, you cannot go back and ask AWS to give him the public IP. Very simple process. Go to Elastic IP, right, and associate it. This is another usage of having Elastic IP. So here, go to associate address and attach with this one. You can see private and public, and now you can see allow IP to be reassociated if already attached, and click associate. And now you can see that machine during instance launching time itself, it does not have a public IP. Now, I have given Elastic IP, and you can call this machine out of AWS. This is how the flexibility of Elastic IP. And non-Elastic IP is something very, very different because it's going to be changed periodically. But Elastic IP will never get changed. So that's why today all the servers I can able to access inside the cloud without hesitation because of Elastic IP. And AWS is the only cloud vendor who give this type of configurations in name of Elastic IP, and no other cloud vendor have this concept of having Elastic IP. They are providing only the general public IP, and that is something keep on changing. So this is how. Yes.
Yeah. Can you tell some example in real time when we use Elastic IP, when we use non-Elastic IP? Any example?
Yeah, that's why. See, this is my web server, right? This is my web server. Okay, so
Okay.
if I am see if I am running this as a web server, so I my boss wants to reach my server. Okay, so how come he reach my server via the public IP, right? See,
Yeah.
now suppose you are, let I take one example. You are my boss, and you are asking me, I want to access the site which is running inside AWS. I want to access the site, and I want to access the site wherever I am, and I want to execute those things. Now the thing is, obviously, I will give you the public IP. I will tell you this is the public IP where you can access the site. Okay, so obviously then what I will do, okay, I will think that, oh, this is my public IP, and I will think that this public IP is permanent to me to access the machine. So let I again connect. See here, go to producer, and I'm going to view service HTTP, and I will have restart. Okay, so already I have configured my Apache. So now you can see and copy paste and to show the site. Now what you do, you also copy, you also go to your browser and try to run this public IP. You just check you are able to receive the site or not. Just go to your browser and type this IP. You should able to receive it. So are you able to receive the site? So it's reachable, right? Because of what? Public IP, right? Now, suddenly I have stopped the machine and I have restarted the machine. Then what will happen? Would you able to reach the site? You cannot able to reach the site. This is also true for database. This is also true for application server. This is also true for Hadoop HDF, also SAP applications, or any type of application that you want to access. So that depends on the public IP. So now the public, I have stopped the machine and I am going to start the machine again. So I will be getting another public IP. So now I have to inform you that the new public IP is assigned to this machine. So like this, how many times I have to give you the public IP? So that's not good. That's not fair. To stop this behavior, so we should go for a elastic IP. And that elastic IP, as I told already, it's a static permanent public IP for us. And via him,
Cool.
yes.
Yeah, one more doubt. See, if there is a change in public IP, also its DNS name also it will change, is it?
Yes, because the public IP is changed, right? So DNS endpoint will also change.
Oh, okay.
DNS endpoint will also change by the because every region has an endpoint. Why the endpoint only? AWS understand the service, so that if public IP change, the endpoint also will change. And keeping the old endpoint,
Okay.
it will not gonna work. It gonna work out for you. Okay, so I got one more question. Okay, so is there any way we can use one elastic IP for public communication and route traffic to other web server with private IP to reduce cost paid? Yeah, that is why you can have one elastic IP. You can have not one, you can have more than one elastic IP for single machine to route traffic to web servers. So, but the question is there any way we can use one elastic IP for public community traffic to other web servers? See, for one web server, only one elastic IP. So you cannot share the one elastic IP with two machines. So if you have two machines, you should have two elastic IP. But you can able to reuse the elastic IP again. So suppose I have 4 server and I have 3 elastic IP. I can switch off one server and I can remove elastic IP from one server and I can assign that same elastic IP to different server, another server. So that is how. But one elastic IP is only for one instance, not for multiple instances. So private IP, you already know that private IP is a non-routable IP, and that will also come when you launch an instance. Okay, but to reduce cost for elastic IPs, AWS will not provide you those configuration. So one instance, one elastic IP.
Paul, one more thing. See, I have one elastic IP in Mumbai region. Can I transfer the same elastic IP in other regions?
No, you cannot transfer because when we come to, because that's why AWS has given 5 elastic IP for each region. They allocated.
Okay.
So you cannot do those things. So inside that region only you can access. Okay, so now the question about that one for many server. No. Actually, one public IP, one elastic IP for only one instance. One is not like that. I have 5 server and one elastic IP. It is not gonna work. You can, but one thing you can do, you can disassociate elastic IP and you can associate with another machine. So that's gonna work for us. Elastic IP load balancer, actually load balancer concepts is based on DNS. It's not based on IP address. That's why many guys has a wrong thinking that load balancer done based on IP address. No. Load balancer done by DNS process, not with IP address. So I hope you understood. Okay, so that's why elastic IP is important. This is very simple to understand that it's gonna be changed, it's gonna be not changed. That's why even though this is my private machine, and when I go to my google.com and when I type show my IP address, okay, so show my IP address, so I will receive my public IP. This public IP may be valid for 5 days, maybe valid for 6 days, maybe valid for 2 days, maybe valid for just hours. So that is something I don't know. So this is based on, so I have to request my ISP to give me a static public IP and they charge me more. So same as that. So, but when you are working private data center, why should you worry about public IP? Maybe it's coming from or maybe the permanent public IP or temporary. You are going to connect with the internet and you are going to access millions of servers in at one place. So we are not worrying about that. But in came to business point of view, just like in AWS, we are worrying about the public IP because public IP change, everything stops, everything changes. So that is why we are giving importance to public IP, and everyone goes to have a static permanent public IP to reach the particular server. Okay, now the next question here, next one is how to assign multiple elastic IP to single Amazon EC2 instances. So this is something not very difficult task to have 2 public IP for single instance. It is possible. See, I have web server 3. Okay, so let me start it. Okay, so now when I start my web server 3, okay, you can see I should get the public IP, and that public IP is something I can say it's released by general purpose. That's for temporary public IP. Okay, so how is possible to have a 2 elastic IP, 2 public IP for single machine? See, it's gonna be stopped. Okay, so let I connect it back. So this is the public IP of this machine, and specify the username, and attach with the PEM key VPC peer connection. Click OK. Okay, so if in order to have 2 public IP, so increase the font size. In order to have 2 public IP, so if you have checked this if config, you find it here. I got one Ethernet adapter, and there is here only one Ethernet. So we got only one public IP. So you have to increase the ENI, that is Elastic Network Interface. We call ENI in AWS. We call network adapter in our private data center. So how to increase it? See, you have to, if you want to attach more than one ENI, you have to find this machine belongs to which security groups. It belongs to Linux and it belongs to which availability zone, AP South 1A. Come down here, we got network interface. And I got many network interfaces, and some network interfaces are available and some network interfaces are in use. So let I create new one. And you can see subnet AP South 1A and which security groups belongs to Linux. And this is, I'm going to use this is Linux and create it. That's all. AC is created, and now click attach. Just like you are attaching the volume, issue instance, and an Elastic Network Interface should run in same availability zone and share same security groups. You can see it's finding every machine, and I'm going to have web server number 3 and attach. That's all is attached. So now I got 2 Elastic Network Interface for my machine. Okay, so go back here and try to find it here and config. Here we go. I got 2 adapters, ETH0 and ETH1. Okay, so just refresh and go back to the instance. So here when we see, come down, you can see 2 Elastic Network Interface. Now the question is how to provide 2 public IP for this one. So one public IP for one adapter and ETH0, and another public IP for one that is called ETH1. Click on this and just record interface ID. We got interface ID C36, and this is 41E2. Now go to your Elastic IP and then click on that. Okay, so before we that, I'm going to have going to restart my Apache server. Service HTTP start. Right? So I'm just remember. So go to associate address. Just remember, if you have one Elastic Network Interface, you have to attach by the name of instance. If you have two Elastic Network Interface, you have to name. You have to attach by the name of network interface. See. Suppose you're going to attach with the name of instance. You can see which IP you're going to attach. Suppose you selected this one, AWS throws an error. What they're telling, the multiple network interfaces are attached, so you cannot have proceed one. So what you have to do is simply you have to attach with the network interface. So which one is this? One is this 41A2. I am attached. Okay, so now another public IP. So go to associate address and select interfaces. I think this one 034, and I'm going to associate it. Okay, see, I have associated. So I go to public IP now. Now go to instance, go to web server 3. Okay, I think I have attached with the wrong one. So let me check this one. This is C36. Go to Elastic IP and try to attach it again. So, okay, so now it's going to disassociate. So let I disassociate both one, and again let I attach it again. So go to associate address, network interface, and what the network interface is this 41E2 and associated. So now attach with 41E2. Now go to web server 3 and find it more adapter. So this is C36, port Elastic IP. Now associate interface. So C36 and attach. Now you can see it's associated. So now I should get 2 public IP for web server 3. Here we go. I got 2 public IP, right? Right. Now copy the first public IP and go there and paste it. You should see the site. Now copy another public IP and go to browser and just paste it. You should receive site. You can see I am able to reach the server via both public IP. So this is how we assign multiple public IP for single Amazon EC2 instance. So the thing is, you have to increase the number of Elastic Network Interface and you have to attach it. You can see I can reach the server via this IP, and I can reach server via this IP. So that's why this is how the benefit of having multiple public IP to single machine. This is something not possible in your private data center. In private data center, you are going to be having only one public IP for entire organization, and every machine will share the public IP via PAT configuration, just called port address translator. But here is not like that. You can see single machine has got two public IP, and I can reach this machine by any of those IPs. So that's the flexibility of AWS. I hope you understood.
Paul,
Yes. Yes.
why we need, no, what scenario we need to use more than one public IP?
Suppose you have two department of users, and two department of users wants to access single server. So you can give a separate public IP for them, and assigning with two separate IP address for them to access the server. So in that scenario, you will be finding helpful. But instead of having one server, one public IP, the traffic can be goes to two public IP. So you can have any public IP, you can able to use the server instantly. So suppose you're not remembering one public IP, you can go for another one. So that's the scenario. If one adapter fails also, so another adapter will able to help you uh, to access your information. So that's why having two public IP is always a benefit. But the problem of this setup is it will increase the number of costs. So I have to pay for two public IP for single machine. And many people say that it's not required to have two public IP for single Amazon EC2 instance. It's waste of resource like that. But when you are in remote location, you can have any public IP, and then you can able to access the machine instantly. So if many users, suppose 50 to 60 users are already accessing the machine, so the same public IP you're going to give, it may be tell you that the user is busy or user right now not in position to connect. But if you have two public IP, so one public IP you may have high traffic, but another public IP you may have low traffic. So which public IP has got low traffic? So that will be reached fast, and we can able to access all the required information. So,
Okay, how many public IPs we can give, for
five.
instance?
No, for five, maximum five.
Oh,
Five, yeah, this is five. More than you cannot go now. So because per region is five,
okay.
you can attach five. So and just remember, if you don't want, just
But as you said, we can, no, as you said, we can request additional elastic IPs, right? In that case, can we allocate more than 5?
Yes, we can allocate more than five, but you have to pay
okay,
extra.
okay.
See,
Okay.
we have some limitations of, I'm not telling this, go to AWS VPC limits. We have a lot of limitations of the console. When you click on this, you will find it here. See the limits. VPC per region 5, subnets per VPC 200, and CADR blocks. Here we go. As I told, Elastic IP address per region is only 5. So per region default limit is 5. This I am not telling, AWS. So we apart from this, we want to go more than 5, you have to contact them. Right. So I hope you understood. Next we see how to configure Amazon SSM agent. This is very typical concept. An Amazon SSM agent. This is something like you have many Linux machines or many Windows machines in your Amazon EC2 instance. Like you have 20 Linux machines, and you want to deploy Apache Web Server or maybe any applications within the 20 instances. So it's waste your time. You know, you have to connect every instance. Every instance has got a separate public IP, and then you have to start. You have to open. You have to access the machine, and then you have to run the Apache package, and then you have to run the. So that is very what is say irritate to you to having this much of same configuration for those machines. So, but when you go for Amazon SSM agent, it will be very easy for you to handle those information. So within a single script, you will run, and it will be automatically deployed for 50 to 60 instances, which is running in your EC2 console. Let us show a demonstration about Amazon SSM agent. Actually, this is very useful for you when you start working with SSM agent at a scripting level, because today scriptings are so powerful, right? So today scripting is powerful, and via scripting we can able to find easy accessibility of anything. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to terminate this machine because I don't want right now, and let I change my region to Oregon. So here we go. Okay, no instance. So in order to work with Amazon SSM, come down here, you find it here. Amazon SSM is called System Manager Services, System State Manager, and he used to manage everything for you, like run command, state manager, automations, patching, and you can move your private data center machine inside AWS. So that is, I will tell you next. So first, let me see who is SSM. Right. So before let me configure SSM, I want to show you another configuration called user data. That is called the bootloader and user data. So that I have not added here. That I add here. See, previous I've shown you how to configure Apache Web Server manually. Inside EC2 instance, you have to open the instance, and then you have to run the package, and then you have to start the service. You have to do those edits. But here there is one more a rapid method that we have here for the Linux machine and Windows to execute the things fast. Via no need to open your machine. Click on that advanced details, and here we got a user data. Right? So here I need to write a bash scripting. So let me write a bash scripting. So here I'm going to have a bin/bash, and then I'm going to write yum install http. See, not even this one. Anything you can write in script by bash scripting, it's gonna be executed. And then I'm going to give echo, and I'm going to give some text. Going to be hi, I am. Okay, so Apache web server running where user data, and then close this, and then store in this location www, then html, and then index.html. Now click on that service httpd start. Right, so this is the script I have written, very simple script but powerful. So this means, you know what will happen again. So when before instance launch, the script will execute and my Apache web server is up and running. Let's show you here. Okay, now add tags, and now here give some name AMI Linux. So username. And lots of security group. I am in the Oregon region. I got security groups, SSH port number and HTTP port number 80. And yes, I got this one. See, that's all. It should execute it. So I got a public IP here. Now, simply copy this and see. Okay, but maybe I have to check my security groups. I have opened port number 80. Yeah, I have opened. So I need to check it again. Maybe I got some problems in my user data. So maybe if the things is not going correct for us, let me check here itself. You can able to see check that on that. Okay, so writing a bash scripting, I need to follow some rules. Let us check. So, okay, I think I have given, okay. So I've given win/bash m/go handle server, etc. External service httpd start. So this is a script I have written, and I think see, now it's working. So it'll take a little bit time. You can see, did I open the machine? No. Straight away, I can able to configure. This is how the flexibility, and then this is another way of any server you're going to configure. Just put it in your user data, and AWS will take care of rest of things. That's the flexibility we have here. Okay, so that's why I told about the bootloader. So bootloader means during booting of the machine, the user data will start working, and before instance starts, your application is up and running. So that's the really helpful for us. The same thing we are going to do in SSM agent, but in few different manner via script. Right. So let me start with SSM. Let me show you about how to work with SSM agent. Now I'm going to start. So okay, in order to configure SSM agent, you can see, click on that. This is Amazon System State Manager, very powerful configuration, and I'm going to do for Linux machines. And here you can see I got for Linux, and this is how we have to follow the script. Amazon itself provided a lot of scripts for bash scripting for installing as Amazon SSM agent in your machine. So I'm using Amazon Linux Go. I'm going to copy this script, and go down, and just remember, before you just configure SSM agent for your Amazon EC2, you have to attach a IAM role for that EC2 to access SSM agent. Okay, so I have already created that IAM role. So go to because without IAM, I can't able to my SSM agent will not detect the machines. So go to identity access management. That's that. Yeah, here. And here you have to create a role. Already I created a role, but I show you how to create a role. You can see I got 22 roles here. How to create a role? Click on the role, create a role, right? And you're creating role for whom? EC2. Click EC2 and next permission. So here, what permission you're going to give? Maybe if you have your own policy, you can have create policy via that's something written by JSON or via YAML language. So here I'm going to give SSM agent. You can see SSM full access. You can see this is the permission you have to give. So already I gave the permission. So here I got SSM full access. Okay, so now very simple, go to launch instance and click on that Linux machine and come down. So I'm going to launch 3 machines and come down here, IAM role. Can see IAM role. I am going to attach SSM full access and come down, advanced details, and paste the script which is given by Amazon. And this script tells that to install SSM agent and start SSM agent service inside Linux machine. And now add storages, add tags. So here go and give this one SSM agent. So configure security groups, existing security groups here, and then review and launch it. So here launch. So very simple and effective. Now you can see I got 3 machines which is running here as SSM agent, and it should be SSM agent number 1. and this is 2, and this is 3. Okay, so just refresh it, and here we go. Now, no need to open this machine. Come down. We have a run command. You can see I have already, maybe I have already run a few scripts on that machine, so on other machines. So go to run command. You can see run command. And come down. Here we got huge amount of scripts given by AWS. You can see here some scripts written for Linux and Windows, some script written for only Linux. I'm going to run a shell script. Here you can see I've selected AWS run shell script. Come down and select instances. Here we go. You selected all the instances which I have. That is how, because this is detected by identity access management. So select all. Now come down and write a command, whatever things you need. So I'm going to have yum install httpd-y, and then same thing I'm going to do echo. I'm going to do hi, I am a Apache web server running in SSM agent. So click on that, and this gives var www html and index.html. Right? So give service httpd start. So your script should be right, otherwise it throws an error. Okay. And that's all. No need to do anything. Right? Commit. So just type install Apache. Right? And timeout second 600 milliseconds. Click run. Here we go. It should say success. You can see is success. Very effective. And simultaneously, this all machines has got this executed script. You can see it's working. Yeah. So go to SSM agent number 2. Run the public IP. You can see it's working. Now go to SSM agent number 3 and run the public IP. You can see it's there. This is how simultaneously you can run the script in Linux machines via MS or SSM agent, and that's the effective solution. This is writing a script, single script on multiple MS on EC2 instances. So I hope you understood. So any questions? Okay, I got a question that anyway to get output script via SSM. See, actually, if you go to inside your run command, and when you click on this run command, the output will be shown only 2,500 characters. We can see here it's executed. So 2,500 characters only it will show. So the other output things will be stored in MS or S3 buckets. So we can view, the output in our MS or S3 bucket, but we should create a bucket before we have done this. So I have not created a bucket, so no problem. It says success means it's get executed. So no need to have any evidence. So go to instance, and now you can see you can directly run the script, and that's the flexibility that we have here in AWS. So this is how we work with Amazon SSM agent, very effective and very nice. Okay, so next is how to configure Amazon SSM agent in hybrid cloud environment. So this will take a little bit time. This lab is I'm going to show you that how to move your physical Linux machine inside AWS. So that is something hybrid cloud management. For that, I should have a VM that is running in my VMware. Okay, so this VMware machine which is running inside my virtual machine CentOS 7, and I'm going to move this CentOS 7 inside AWS. And when I move this CentOS 7 inside AWS, you can see I can write a script there, and it will be executed on my CentOS 7, which is running as a VM in my physical machine. but I have to configure my router, my office router should allow this instance with AWS. So if your office firewall or router blocking you to connect, I'm sorry to say, you cannot execute, you cannot able to connect your physical machine to with AWS. So, but I have already configured my router to have to give full permission to my VMware Linux machine to communicate with AWS. So that's the thing. But I want to show you what I want to. I want you to go through these three topics. Okay, that's right. Yeah, I want to use to go through these three topics today. What you have seen, like elastic IP, how to assign multiple elastic IP for single EC2 instances, and you have also seen how to execute user data and how to configure Amazon SSM agent. So just go through this one, and yeah, I got one more question. Yeah, it is possible because see, actually, I have installed the running instance only, right? So when I started the instance, right? So you can see I have given this one. Apart from this, if you want to, you are asking open the instance and install, no problem, you can install it. But opening instance and installing, that's something if you do means that is single instance, right? At a time you are going to do for single instance, that not makes sense good of having, because AWS has given a lot of shortcuts to execute the things. Then use those shortcuts. Then why you're going for long route to access the console. But if you want, if you don't want shortcuts, it is possible to install SSM agent after you launch, after you started a Linux machine. I hope today you understood, and just go through these three topics, and it's important. And I'm going to start this one fresh from tomorrow. Tomorrow we see how to pump SSM agent for hybrid cloud management, how to transfer data. This is so important, from your private data center machines to Amazon EC2, and how to move data from encrypted volume to unencrypted volume, and how to launch a Linux machine without a key file. I hope you have any doubts, so please go ahead.
Paul, is it the same access level there for the account which shared by Dinesh?
Access level means you are talking about which one? Access
Like,
level means
this
you,
many
no, no,
IP.
no. Access level means you cannot. AWS Quick Labs will not provide you access level, full access level that to the console as I am working. So okay, so if you want to get full access level, you have to create a free tier account by linking your credit card. Then AWS will allow to AWS will provide you free tier credentials, free tier account, and via the free tier account you can do these things freely. So no restrictions like we have in IAM. So you can go ahead with your free tier account, but you have to link your credit card. So, but AWS
then
will,
Paul,
yeah.
Paul, then in what's the logic for going for the labs? See, if we don't have any full access, right, then there is no point. We can go for the free tier itself, right?
But the thing is, Quick Labs is a one which is they have designed specific labs, right? They have designed a specific labs, and that specific labs will be running inside the Quick Labs. It is not like you have launched the lab title is launching Amazon EC2 Linux, and you have to execute that lab only. You cannot execute other labs. So that's the equation for we have in Quick Labs. So, but you cannot work freely inside Quick Labs, but somehow you can work. But as I'm working here, you want to work console, you want to access everything freely, no restrictions. Then you have to create your own account. So because
Oh, okay, Paul, I'll talk to Dinesh. Yeah, no problem, Paul. I'll talk to Dinesh. Yeah, thank you.
okay, then you will be getting this recorded session of this session video inside Google Drive link, and you can access it. So see you back tomorrow, and take care. Good night.
Yeah, thanks, Paul.
அது தெரிஞ்சு ஏதோ pre-recorded இல்லை